In this video, we'll be going over the C# video tutorials. So we'll be learning about numeric data. So writing numeric data to a text file. So we'll be doing this in C#. In the last video, we talked about how to write just strings to a text file. So now we'll just do some more coding examples. We talked about this in the notes already in the previous video. The previous videos when we did the notes. Now we're just, sorry, just hit the mic by accident. Now we'll just do some code examples. So this isn't a lab, this is just some code notes, so we can just write these down. Actually, we could do this in a console app, but it doesn't really matter. Same thing. The output's going to be to a text file anyway, so it's not like that's able to be displayed. Well, unless I write, unless I put the file not in a path, just kind of in the IDE. It's the same thing. Doesn't really matter. We'll just do the code here. So remember to include the using directive at the top. So using system.io. Once you type that statement, then we'll just have a try block here. And we'll say stream writer output file. And we'll say output file points to file.createText. We'll just call this just numbers file.txt. I won't do the path. If you would like to see how I do the path, you can just see the previous videos in the playlist. Just remember to include the @ symbol at the beginning and then write the path. So here we'll have a for loop. So we'll say for int I points to 1, I is less than or equal to 10, I++. Then we'll say output file dot write line, passing in int. So it's going to write the data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the file, spaced out on separate lines. Then here we'll have output file dot close to close the file. Below we'll have this bracket. Then we'll have here, actually that should be outside here. We'll have a catch. We'll catch exception. We'll just call it EX. So catch exception EX. And here we'll say message box dot show ex.message. And remember, it doesn't have the parentheses like Java, so it's just like without the method parentheses. That's pretty much it, how to write number data. The only difference is here we're just writing an int. We're not writing a string. It's up to you. Whoops. Whatever you want, that works fine. To process files, you can always just keep them as strings. If you need numbers, you can have a numbers file, or you can just try to have a code that detects numbers in a string. So sometimes you may need just a numbers file, Not really sure when, but you might. Some kind of number data you might need or something like that. Perhaps in a finance application trading bot you may want to keep some data in a file or something. But often you can just keep everything together and kind of space it out. You could have a code that catches a number 1 to 0, or 0 to 9, I guess. You can have a code that basically detects numbers, or you could have an isNumeric method. You could create an isNumeric method if it contains those values, or like a negative sign or something like that. There probably is a isNumeric, some kind of built-in isNumeric code in C#. That's what I would do. But it's up to you, whatever. Sometimes you may just need a numbers file. Okay, so yeah, so it would just print the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 down, not across like this. Not like that. Each number will be spaced on a line. The reason is because we're using the right line method rather than the right method. So hopefully that makes sense. Nothing too complicated. We've gone over the loops. We've talked about how to create these objects. We'll create the object reference variable pointed to this method and all that. We've talked about that already. We talked about that, I think, within the last few videos, so you can check that out in the playlist if you're interested. So now we'll talk about try to make this a separate video. Nah, we can just join them, it's going to take too long. So here we'll have appending data to an existing file. So let's start some. Well, we've already talked about this before. Like the notes. In the notes we talked about this. So we'll just jump right into the code example. So remember, you can use the append method to basically add text or data to a file that already has data inside of it. And if you don't, it'll probably just create a new file for you, but that may not always be the case, so just check if that works. I know that works in some other languages. It might not work in this, but you can try that. But just note that append won't delete your data, so you'll be able to keep the data that you used before, open it again, and so forth. Right, so let's talk about this code example. So let's just go with deleting this one. Actually, well, let's not delete it, let's just call this, what happened there? Let's go with ex1, example 1, and here we'll go with example 2. Okay, so let's call our streamWriter obj variable here, so we'll say streamWriter output file. Then we'll say output file points to file dot append text instead of create text. Here we'll just append to, let's just say, our C#. What did we call this before? C# file.txt. I think we called it that. Let's just hope that we did previously. So we're basically just continuing to write to this file that already probably has data in it. Rather than if we use create text, then it's going to erase the data in the file if there's already data in the file. So be careful with that if you're working on anything important. Always practice it first. Or kind of back up your data or something. So then here we'll have output file dot write line. We can just say some fruits or vegetables, whatever. Output file dot write line. Here we'll call something else. We'll just store something else in there. Write line's going to space it out with a new line. Once again, so here we'll call output file dot write line. At the end, finally, we'll just have output file, or out file. Right, so we'll say output file dot write line. Nope, not write line. Output file dot close. We could have put that in a try catch block, obviously. But that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's go with a GUI here. Actually, I don't think there's actually a GUI in this lab. So appending data to one of the previous files that we made before doesn't really matter. That's why I usually just keep it file.txt. The last time I used that file was in the Python tutorials. Probably still uploading those videos at this point. Hopefully that's out by now. Write name button. Oh, I know what this is. This is from the last lab, okay. Let me try to open that one here. You can speed through these labs here. So where did let me go to open Windows Forms app. Which one is this here? 31. Okay, so let me open 30. Is that 30, 28, 29, 30? Okay, so let's open number 30. This is from the lab that we did. Hopefully this is the one. Okay, this should be the one. So this is the lab that we just did with the fruit button. So it's a little Windows pop-up window, enter a fruit. So you enter a fruit into the text box, click the button, write fruit. The fruit will get written to a file on your desktop and saved. So we're going to add a block of code to this one to finish this lab here. Okay, so what do we have here? Try StreamWriter output file. Then we had output file dot write line. Nope. Where's the create text? Okay, some of this gets deleted, okay. Or commented out in this case. So we're saying, okay, let me just start from this code from the top and we'll work back down to the bottom. This looks like my notes have the code that we already did taken out. Okay, so we have StreamWriter output file. Then on the next line, we're gonna add. So we're gonna comment that one out. So then here we'll say output file dot, output file points to file dot append text. We'll go with appending to C# file.txt. Do I have to write this path again? Okay. So I'll just write the path again. You can do the same for you if you're following along. So C:, backslash, or is it a backslash or forward slash? I think that's a forward slash, so C, remember the @ symbol first, then string literal, C, which is a drive, then colon, forward slash users, forward slash computer name, forward slash folder that you want, such as desktop, forward slash I call it C# file .txt, semicolon. Close the string and then semicolon. We'll close the string, close the parentheses, and then semicolon. Then we should have output file.write line, str textbox.text, output file.close. Here we can add something else here. Messagebox.show, file operation complete, or file write operation complete. Let's say file write op complete. We can clear the text box as well. We would say str text box points, or sorry, str text box.text points to an empty string. Then here we can say we want the str text box to point to the or to call the focus method, which will point the focus there to that control. And that's pretty much it. So we'll probably just end it there. So thanks for watching, guys. In this video, we went over, once again, how to write numeric data to a file. I believe. What happened here? Actually, no, that was in the other. So yeah, that was in the other one, the other program that we had. So we learned how to write, or we did the code examples on how to write numeric data to a file. Then we did some more code examples on append text, and then now we did the lab. So we continued with this lab here. So if you haven't seen that lab, go back to the videos in the playlist and watch those so you understand what's happening. Every time I do a video like this, I kind of go step by step from the beginning. So check that out. And just once again, if you want to just make sure what these identifiers are. So this is just a console in the designer. Sorry, it's a Windows Forms app, Windows Form app in the designer. This label doesn't have an identifier. This one is just str text box, and this one is just write text. Sorry, write str button, and this one is str text box. So I've created that event handler here, and every time the button is clicked, the file gets written to, in this case for appending the data to the file. So hopefully that makes sense. Thanks for watching, guys. If you guys like the video, you can like and subscribe to support the channel for more investing and programming tutorials. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.